Good morning, everyone. Just want to first welcome you to this media event. For the last several months, we have been working very closely in building and strengthening our relationships with our policing partners, especially in this particular case with the Port Hope Police Service. And it's my pleasure to welcome Chief Ryan Wood to our police station this morning. Working together with the Port Hope Police Service on the 31st of March and the 1st of April, members of the Port Hope Police Service and the Cobourg Police Service conducted a traffic stop on Highway 45 in Hamilton Township. As a result of the traffic stop, two Controlled Drug and Substance Act search warrants were executed, and as a result, a number of arrests were made and large quantity of seizures was also made. And I will allow Chief Wood to give the details of that. But before I do, I just want to say that with drugs, especially in our community and elsewhere, there are no borders, and this particular arrest and seizure is a perfect example of how working collaboratively with all our policing partners, how we can continue to keep our streets and our community much safer than it was prior to the seizures. Chief Wood.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to echo Chief Liu's comments on working together and how we reinforce the actual information. We always get that drugs they do go over borders, and we've been working in the past with Cobourg, OBP, and other policing partners to ensure that our streets are safe for our children and for our families. And this particular event is a good example of how we can work together and we can actually have really good impact on the situation for the community. I'd just like to go over some of the accused and some of the charges. It's actually quite lengthy, so you'll bear with me as I read. The primary accused was Benjamin Bouchard, who's 28 years old, from Cobourg. He's been charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking, and there's 6 counts of that. There's cocaine, 2 counts of that, marijuana, 2 counts of that, fentanyl, and oxycodone. He's also charged with possession of property obtained by crime, 2 counts of that, and breach of probation. Further accused is Dennis Bowen, 42 years old, from Baltimore. He's been charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking, 4 counts. The drugs involved are cocaine, marijuana, fentanyl, and oxycodone. Possession of property obtained by crime is the other charge. Other accused is Keith Campbell, 25 years old, from Ajax. Been charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking, 4 counts. Again, cocaine, marijuana, fentanyl, and oxycodone. Also been charged with possession of property obtained by crime and breach of officer charge undertaking. Further charged is Parisa Razul, 27 years old, from Cobourg, charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking, 6 counts. 2 counts of cocaine, 2 counts of marijuana, fentanyl, and oxycodone. Also possession of property obtained by crime, 2 counts for American and current Canadian currency. The total drug seizure, for the record, 916 grams of cocaine with a street value of $91,660, 594.4 grams of marijuana bud, 125.6 grams of marijuana shake, 147 80 milligram oxycodone pills, 22 5 milligram oxycodone pills, 4 10 milligram oxycodone pills, and 5 100 milligram fentanyl patches. The total combined value on the streets for these drugs is $111,139.60. The total currency seizure was $5,123.15 Canadian and $110 American currency. This is a substantial street seizure, and I congratulate the members of both Cobourg and Port Hope Police Services in their hard work and diligent efforts to ensure community safety. And I'll turn it back over to Chief Liu.
Thank you. Deputy.
Thank you, Chiefs. I just wanted to draw everyone's attention to what is a new and blossoming event across the province. We often take for granted cocaine, marijuana as sort of being just another drug seizure. When we start hearing the terms of fentanyl and fentanyl patches and now in the tablet form, that is something across the province that is having a negative impact on community safety, but also on the health and well-being of people. You will have noted that around the province there have been many deaths associated to fentanyl. Fentanyl is a very, very strong pain reliever, and it's usually in a patch form. And when people start taking it and they eat portions or digest portions of the patches, you never know where all of the fentanyl is. And we've had overdoses across the province where people have died and succumbed to those that overdose. This is a direct relation as well to the OxyContin, the move to oxycodone, and the efforts that police services across the province are going to try to manage prescription fraud and prescription narcotic trafficking. And in May, the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, in coordination with the Canadian Chiefs of Police, there is going to be another prescription drop-off day. I think the date is May 9th or 10th, but there'll be more information coming on that. And those are directly a result of this kind of narcotic being out in our community.
Again, thank you for taking your time on this Easter Friday to come out and communicate with us. Thank you. We'll open the floor for any questions.
The fentanyl is this one here, the tablets and the patch there, those two things? Okay.
Yes.
And is that something new that you're finding recently in drug seizures, or is it sort of the Cobourg area?
No, it's not new,
No.
but what we are finding is that the increase in death in relation to the fentanyl use, especially the patches, because they can be digested, used by smoking, and because the patch, the drug is not evenly distributed across the patch, when people cut them up in pieces, one piece may contain significantly higher amount of drugs than other portions, and that's where we're getting the overdoses from.
It's a prescription drug for pain? Or?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Is it something that causes a high? Is that why people are taking it? Is it kind of you get kind of a high feeling from taking it? Is that why it's so popular?
It's a pain reliever, so it causes yeah.
I assume this wasn't a routine traffic stop. How long had this investigation been ongoing before the arrests were made?
There certainly was a period of time. As to exactly how long, I would prefer not to answer that question, getting into the specifics of the investigation itself.
Can you talk a little bit about the joint forces, how good it was to talk with neighboring forces, how that may be a thing of the future, but just how nice it was?
Certainly. In this particular case today, we have Port Hope Police with us, but also integrated into this is working closely with Durham Police and Peterborough, as well as the OPP.
Could you foresee things more happening with Port Hope now that, you know, the ice is broken or whatever?
Yeah, certainly. We've increased or strengthened our criminal investigation section. We've as well developed a much stronger relationship amongst the frontline officers. So it's not just our plainclothes officers, but our uniform officers have began working much more closely with our neighboring uniform officers as well.
Just maybe get you to comment on the breakthrough or the significance of getting this amount of drugs in particular, and the variety off the streets with in terms of, you know, for you guys, how much of an accomplishment this really is.
Yeah, now my period of time here has been relatively short. My understanding from speaking with the senior officers of our neighboring service that this could be one of the larger seizures that we've had in this community.
So is the investigation over?
No, the investigation is ongoing, and will continue to go. We'll continue to carry on. And we've asked in the media releases that for those that are in the public, we're asking for them to be our eyes and ears. If you're seeing anything suspicious in your neighborhood, to continue to contact your local police service and or contact us through Crime Stoppers.
Just another question, with this bust here, Chief, does this give you a breakthrough into more organized crime? Like, is this a unit that has been organized for a while? Does it give you any insight into some other criminals that are out there?
Yeah, our investigation is ongoing, and we like to believe that with one arrest, it will lead to possibly future arrests.
Do you think this is a sort of an isolated ring, or is it associated? Could you say if it's associated with yet other rings in southern Ontario, in this area?
Yeah, the investigation is still ongoing in order for us to put the links together.
Were the warrants executed in Hamilton Township and at Cobourg at residences? And if so, are those the owners of those residences part of the people who were named as arrested?
I would say that's safe to conclude that, yes.
Proceeds of crime, vehicles, anything like that?
Yes, we've seized a number of vehicles as well. We've seized more cell phones than what is being displayed here, including laptops. and we're in the process of obtaining warrants to execute those searches.
How is Port Hope involved in all the people here not in Port Hope, the people that were arrested?
Right, so where a individual may live is not necessarily where the investigation begins.
Okay.
So because we know that criminals cross town borders to conduct their business, it's very important that we work collaboratively with our policing partners.
Do you have any information that any of these drugs were distributed locally?
Yes.
I was just going to go back, just because it is such a significant bust. How dangerous are some of these drugs? Can you just comment on them again? We talked about the fentanyl, but maybe the crack cocaine as well. These are obviously highly addictive drugs, so it's a huge step to get them off the streets.
If I may.
Sure.
My history, I've been in
Sorry, I'll get you.
It's okay. I've been in Port Hope for 21 years, and not necessarily with just fentanyl, but in my experience, dealt with a number of sudden deaths involving drug overdoses and residences. People ingest these drugs in the evening. When the party's over, they don't wake up. And I can say at least half a dozen times in my career that this has occurred. That's just my experience. You know, there's 23 officers over there, so the number of times it's occurred in Port Hope alone has been significant, and I'm sure the numbers are at least similar in Cobourg, if not greater, because the population is higher here. So the danger factor of these kind of drugs is out there, and I really can't express my gratitude more to the officers that investigated this to get this off the street and out of the hands of people who might have ingested it.
Yeah, this essentially could save lives of some.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The other important thing to note is that the associated crimes to the drug trade, and that the users, as you reported recently, of the number of break-ins to cars, house break-ins, thefts, assaults that may have occurred in relations to drug deals. These are all feeding the drug trade itself. So those that are looking for money are going through vehicles that potentially are left unlocked. And so there is a strong correlation with the other crimes that are occurring within our communities. And again, kudos to the officers that were directly involved with the investigation and ultimately the seizures of the items before us today.
So was the OPK involved in this investigation?
With the investigation, yes.
You find people are getting away from marijuana and going to the harder stuff?
I can't answer that.
Where are these people now? Have they been sent? Do they have a court date? Or are they arrested?
Yeah. My understanding was that they were brought before the courts yesterday and held for bail.
Okay, so they're still
Put over, or do you know?
Yeah. So I'm advised that one was held over.
Oh, okay.
So two were held in, and one was released, right? Okay.
Okay. So 3 are in custody.
2 are still in custody.
2 are still in
Do
custody.
we know which one was released then? We could narrow it down.
Yeah, let us, we'll confirm that.
Okay.
So Keith Campbell was released.
Keith Campbell.
The other was held. Good, thank you very much.